Last week, we had the regional clergy retreat in Baguio City. Around 700 priests and deacons and bishops. And the opening mass was celebrated by Archbishop Marlo Peralta. And the homilist was Archbishop Soc Villegas. And I remember that in the homily of Archbishop Soc, he said, because he was talking about the parable of the sower, he said that if the seed does not allow itself to be dropped into the ground, it remains a useless seed. But if it allows itself to be dropped into the ground, into the soil, then it grows and it bears fruit. Very beautiful image by the good Archbishop. And it is also the gospel for today, the feast of Saint Lawrence the Deacon. And it says, I solemnly assure you, unless the grain of wheat falls to the earth and dies, it remains just a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Siguro, ang tanong is, how can we apply this to our daily living? Or in what context can we apply this to our daily living? Paano ba natin ito maintindihan? Allowing oneself to be dropped and to die so that it can bear fruit. Kasi ang sabi ni Jesus sa kasunod na mga linya sa ating ebanghelyo, it says, the man who loves his life will loses it, while the man who hates his life in this world preserves it to life eternal. Well, siguro there is another saying that goes with this, no? When Archbishop Soc Villegas said, when someone allows itself to be dropped into the ground, that person can bear much fruit. Bakit? Yung isang motto that most probably you have heard so many times, it says, you lose what you keep and you gain what you give away. I repeat, whatever you keep, you will lose it. And whatever you give away, you in turn will gain. Kung yung butil, sarili lang niya ang iniisip niya, to keep itself as a seed, it becomes useless. It dies. It gains nothing. It loses itself as a seed. But when it allows itself to be dropped and to give itself to the soil, it bears much fruit. Ang ibig sabihin niyan sa buhay po natin, ang mga bagay-bagay that we keep to ourselves, we in turn lose it. But the things that we give away in life, we gain them more and more. Ang problema kasi, baliktad ang mentalidad ng tao ngayon. Ang mentalidad ng tao ngayon is, the more I keep, the more I can have in return. Kaya nga tignan niyo mga tao, paramihan ng nakikip sa buhay. Why? Yan ang mentalidad ng tao eh. We keep and we keep and we keep and we think we will have more. Pero sabi nga ng Ebanghelyo, sabi nga ni Archbishop Soc, wrong. Because anything that you keep to yourself in this life, you will lose it. But anything you give away, you will gain. So if you keep your money, you will in turn lose it. But if you are generous enough to give, especially to those who are in need, Di nyo ba napapansin? No kep-kep-kepam day ta kwartam, mapukaw. But if you learn to open your palm and share this, yun yung ba napapansin that the time you give, mas maraming bumabalik. Ewan ko ba, kung naranasan nyo na yan, no? Kahit kakaunti na lang yung meron sa'yo pag ibibigay mo yan, you think you lose it. Pero in return, you will gain more. That's the technique of life. Just like the seed, when it itself, selfish siya, it keeps it to itself, mamamatay yan, mawawala. Ganyan din po sa buhay natin. Lahat ng bagay that you keep to yourself, trust me, eventually you will lose it. Whatever it is. But anything you learn to give away, it will come back to you more than even what you have given away. Trust me on that. Kaya ang technique is, we pray for this gift. That first, just like Archbishop Sok, we allow ourselves to be dropped like the seed. Ganda kasi ng homily ni Archbishop Sok nung Lunes last week. We allow ourselves to be dropped. Because when we are dropped and we give ourselves away for God and for other people, we gain so much and we bear so much fruit. We pray for that gift. And secondly, we pray for that gift that we become this grain of wheat that dies to oneself and falls to the ground so that we can also bear fruit. Lagi niyong tatandaan yung motto, you lose what you keep, you gain what you give away.